What is going on, everyone? My name's Boy, and I'm back with some more Age Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the right side of the map in the red color playing a set. His name is Ridu. His opponent today in the blue color playing as set as well. His name is Joe. The map is Watering Hole, and this is the playoffs. And Ridu is one win away from taking this series, upsetting Joe. Ridu's 4th seed or 7th/8th seed of the playoffs of this Voobly League, and Joe 1st/2nd seed. So a very big upset could be on the cards here if Ridu takes either this game or the next game. Joe, on the other hand, has some catching up to do. He is playing set here. We haven't seen him take a set game or play a set game just yet. We are seeing the Pharaoh coming in, going to get a hit, but we're seeing Joe able to dodge this, retreat away. Another Pharaoh coming in for Joe in order to pick off this Hyena. Does manage to pick it off. Going to be visiting the other Pharaoh as well, and they're going to be duking it out. The Hyena coming back in does get sniped. However, the Priest and the Pharaoh are going to be going at each other right now. The healing of Ridu onto this location. However, Joe going to be attempting to get this Rhinoceros out. It's going to be really close. He sent it to there immediately, and Joe retreats away. It takes a minute to grab it. He did not have confidence that he could get it out, and now the Priest's going to be fighting each other, and Ridu can just be like, no, I don't care. I can just heal these guys up and win this fight. You can't do as much damage as I can heal. And this is absolutely huge here, as this is all that matters in this fight right now. House coming up for Joe, trying to keep himself from being supply blocked here, but totally fine. Ridu, on the other hand, is in a very similar predicament, trying to get up that mining camp. Looks like he may have had a little bit of an issue with that one. And now the villagers, or the priests and the Pharaoh, retreating away, going after these rhinoceros here, and Joe's priest going after the water buffalo, as both players have had some interesting interactions, to say the least, at the start of the game. Now this house placement here, you gotta hate it. You gotta hate it. I've done this myself, where you like panic house, throw up, and it just goes in the wrong spot, and it really hurts your village's efficiency. Anyways, it may not matter. And Ridu coming back in onto this priest yet again, and Joe has to leave it. Joe has to leave it. Ridu just too good. The spider senses were tingling. Comes in, pushes Joe off that food, and Joe has no idea where to go with his villagers now. Ridu's going to have a rhinoceros, can send that home to eat so he doesn't have to scout around for anything. And Joe has rhinoceros in his base, so it doesn't matter that much, but this is a bit of an issue. This is a bit of an issue indeed. Temple coming up now for Joe. Obviously, he wants to advance to the classical age as fast as he can so he can get up a very early second town center. However, Ridu's got access to all of the food here. Temple going up for Ridu now. Lots of villagers on gold already. How's the food situation? A little bit short. So Joe going to have the first classical age by far. Very, very fast. And also eating that rhinoceros. So no advantage on the animals early in the middle of the map to get the map control to prevent Joe from grabbing this town center. Meanwhile, Joe's searching around here for something. Ptah coming through. 11 villagers on the gold right now. He needs to get out 400 gold, and we do see only 52 so far for Joe. So it's a bit of a grind to get there. So a priest getting built as well for Joe. So obviously needs that one to defend stuff. Make sure he can come into the middle of the map and fight off the other priests. However, that will delay his town center just a wee bit here. Ptah coming through for Ridu as well, only at 15% compared to the 65% of Joe. Healing that priest back up. Still not found any animals to convert, which has got to hurt. And I did not mean to rhyme it there, but such is life. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Alrighty. So, villagers dumping into that mining camp here. Wadget, Gazelle, Hyena of set, getting that spawn on the classical age. Villagers moving up here. Does he have the resources? He does have the 400 gold. Redo, on the other hand, doing exactly the same thing. Going to be looking for this town center. However, there's so much hunt here for Joe. And Redo still converting his own rhinoceros here. Maybe a bit of a mistake. And now we're going to see Joe coming up here. There's a little bit of copying going on. Two priests. Well, both players going to attempt to get all of the rhinoceroses out as they can to hunt those. Joe, on the other hand, has got access to these water buffalo versus the rhinoceros. Actually, nope, the water buffalo are here as well. It's absolutely huge for Redo. This town center is a beautiful town center, to say the very least. But Joe gets his town center up first, but not by much. Redo advanced later, and he's only about, 5 seconds behind. And then he's deciding to eat these rhino that he's converting. I don't like converting these rhino. You lose so much food in them. They have 500 food. Takes no time to kill them. Very, very important. Whereas I think Joe's going to be trying to keep these in his army here, which will matter because they've got a lot of HP, a lot of armor. Do some very nice things. We see some wood getting gathered now for Joe once he get that pickaxe out. Obviously, no economic upgrades for either player just yet, as they're both going to be attempting to get to the heroic age at a fast time. They want to try and hit it by 8 minutes. Is the general gist of that. Honestly, I wouldn't have preferred to see Rita go a little bit later and go 3 town centers here, given he's got the advantage from that early game on the rhinoceros, but he didn't do it. And 2 town centers apiece. Both players going to be looking for the heroic age now. Question is, where are the fights going to happen? What are the unit compositions? Is the micro going to be the key? Obviously, all these things will be answered very shortly, as it's looking like Rita's now looking for a bit of a fight here. Going to come in onto these villagers that are eating this water buffalo. Nice play. Going to be able to pick off one of them. Does get one villager pick off as the villagers retreat away. Joe can afford this if he had his units in position here, but he just did not. And these rhinoceros do all get converted. So now Joe can take this fight here, going after the Wadget first, microing back. Town centers are very, very low. The shifting sands comes in onto this location, pulling them back right on top of Redo's army. These units are going to all fall very, very fast. The Wadget does get picked off. Rhinoceros on top of Semaked does snipe that one. The other priest here will be going down. However, all of these blue rhinoceros going to be more than enough to take these ones down. Does snipe the rhinoceros there as well before it can do any damage. And Redo comes out with a little bit of an advantage there, taking out a couple of villagers, and Joe hurting just a little bit himself from that one, but does manage to pick off at least the Pharaoh. One priest does lay there alive. So that's huge. Honestly, I think it might have even been better to just sack. I don't know, maybe not. There's a lot of rhino that got shifted, so you have to respond to it. But I like the idea of not responding to a shifting sands by just shifting your units back and saving it for something a little bit more spicy. But such is life. And there's Nephthys for Joe and the Nephthys for Redo. Both players opting to go Nephthys in their forward town center for some reason. I'm not sure if that's just a meta thing or if whatever's meant to happen there, but they both went for it. Meanwhile, if we check out the economy, both players with a little bit of gold, a little bit more for Redo, but a little bit more population for Joe here. And this score over on this side matters very, very little here. 50 points does not matter in the slightest here. Villagers coming over onto this town center now, going to be throwing that one up. We do see a relic in this. The Oseberg wagon exists. This relic is absolutely busted in this matchup. Negative 25% caravan cost. That's 25 food off of your caravans, taking them down to 75% or 75 food, and then the 15% caravan move speed straight away. Absolutely bonkers broken. And third town center going up for Joe right now. Going to be playing very defensive here. We'll see if he makes a reaction to go and grab that relic. I don't know where his Pharaoh is. Obviously, it died, but should come back fairly soon. And there it is, coming over onto this gold mine, not grabbing it. You gotta take the advantages where you can get them. I'm telling you. Meanwhile, Migdol Stronghold going up now. And that's huge. Obviously needs to get those ones going. Ridu a little bit faster than Joe now. Siege works over here. Getting thrown up. We are seeing Chariot archers for Ridu. So this Egyptian war will probably end up being a little bit of a chariot archer micro battle. All about the chariot archers. All about making the siege towers, putting them in front of your chariot archers. And utilizing shift click is very important. And then retreat chariot archer micro is the next step on top of that to break the shift clickage from your opponent. So we'll see what happens. Do see some cheeky scouting going over here. Ridu going to check out with this chariot archer. This town center is also awesome for Ridu. He's got so many good town centers. Obviously, well, actually, just strictly better than Joe. Where's Joe's zebra? Or did he already eat them? Granary. Oh, he's already eaten them up here, so no problems there. But town centers or settlements for Ridu, just really nice hunt on all of them. So we'll see. Grabbing the town center with two villages. A couple more coming over now as the hyena going to come in and harass. Does get sniped very fast by these villagers though that deal a lot of damage with that bow. A lot of damage with the bow. And siege towers now coming out. Already a couple of siege towers for Rita, but he's not putting the pressure on with these units. Like he should. A couple of chariot archers over here. Going to be attempting to pick off some villagers who just will be retreating away. Oh, no. Almost going to be losing it. But the chariot archers should all come in and be able to pick these ones off, especially with those cavalry there to sort that one out. A bunch of villagers coming over now to help put up the town center. More units streaming in here. Joe not committing completely to it. Going to be retreating away. Cavalry a little bit too slow to get on top of these chariot archers. We'll be able to get a couple of slices in, but not going to be enough to pick these units off as Joe going to attempt to fight back here with his chariot archers, marking these guys around. And there, Ridu will be retreating away, moving on to the zebra, getting those villagers started. Siege towers moving forward here. We do see a Scorpion Man out for both players. Obviously, that's the free one there. And do we see funeral rites? It's a big upgrade to deal with the ancestors. And I think in general, if you go on 3 town centers first, you want to play defensive. If you go 3 town centers second, you want to play aggressive. It's kind of the way that it works out because you're going to have more units. But we'll check out the population here. Yeah, we see Ridu at 141 pop to Joe's 133 population. So really huge. And the micro issues are going to be apparent here. Ridu focusing down a siege tower instead of these crocodiles of Set, which do a lot of damage if you let them. They've got very low HP. There's the ancestors down for Joe, ready to push back. Maybe a little bit preemptive. And Ridu going to cast his own ancestors on the back of his army here so that they all spawn before they start fighting. These priests in the back here need to micro. Both players priests, so it's only 3 priests for Ridu compared to the 6 priests of Joe. And Joe going to be sniping those priests as well, whereas Ridu not doing so much himself. He's actually targeting down a war elephant. Not going to get the most damage done by doing that, but does manage to pick it off eventually. Meanwhile, the chariot archers moving back over onto those siege towers yet again. They need to focus onto chariot archers, onto priests, onto something that is not named a siege tower. The cavalry is fine as well. Doesn't matter what, as long as it's not a siege tower. Now we've got some mercenary cavalry getting produced here for Joe, who's wanting to win this fight. This chariot or mercenary cavalry can just tank so much damage with the 44% siege or pierce armor there. And now we're finally seeing those chariot archers targeting these ones. Nice shift clicking there, but he needs to do so and let them keep fighting. And you're seeing it not happen. Not happening. Does miss a lot of DPS by not targeting these chariot archers, but both players doing so. So it's kind of working out relatively even here for the time being. Another Migdol Stronghold coming up for Joe on this location here. And wants to set up a market in the definitely not the best position. Still leaving this Osberg wagon here. Already starting the trade economy for Ridu. So that's huge. But it will be slowing down any sort of mythic age. If you start that trade route early, you get a later mythic age, which may mean you just lose to a Horus. If we check the economy of both players, Joe looks like he's gearing up to go there. He's only making chariot archers. So his food economy will be skyrocketing. Migdol strongholds up, throwing up a siege works, trying to control this area here. Can move in now and start hitting this siege works. Another siege tower does come out. The mercenary cavalry are more than enough to deal with these. And yet again, you got to micro these chariot archers. We're seeing Ro8 positioning his chariot archers nicely here. So they're going to automatically hit these chariot archers. And Joe's army will get very, very weak very, very fast here. And there's the horrors for Joe. Cast his tornado onto the villagers here. And what? They should have all died. That's got to hurt if you're Joe. Ro8 holding on to his horrors for the time being as well. And there's the tornado onto this location, picking off a lot of those chariot archers. I think that was a bit of a waste from both players there. You can do a lot better than that. Annals of Set now coming in for both players. Got to be careful not to leave your hippos behind, but looks like Joe wants to eat his rhino, his free units there instead. Whereas Ro8's already started his farms. How's his upgrades looking? He's got plow, shaft mine. How is Joe looking? He's got quarry, bow saw. And now we got Joe doing what I love. Putting those markets at the very corner of the map here. Realizes this matchup, or the way this matchup is going now, may result in a very, very long game here. As neither player has any advantage to speak of right now. And yet again, we see Chariot Archers dealing 1 damage at arrow here. 1 damage per second. It's not what you want to see. You'll not be hitting siege towers with Chariot Archers. And we've got the toothed arrows here as well. These guys and they're not grabbing relics feels bad, man. In mirror matchups, it's very important. Now Joe's economy is starting to look very, very strong. Both players actually. Unfortunately, this market here is probably not that efficient. You lose a lot of walking time here. Could throw it up over here. It'll be better in terms of gold income and walking time. And we're seeing the siege works going down for Joe. Oh no, for Ro8, who's actually got no more siege here. He's throwing up one over here as well, but now we're seeing the spearman transition here. You can't start building spearmen until you get upgrades. Say it with me, guys. There's the medium upgrades. It's not enough. They still get completely decimated by literally everything that Joe has. Get heavy upgrades. Get Spear on the Horizon. That's what you need before you build them in this Egyptian matchup. And these War Elephant... these War Elephant trading efficiently here, to be honest, because they're so strong. You see the catapult coming out for Ro8, going to be hitting this location, picking off that crucial granary there. And we will be seeing the siege workshop going down finally as the War Elephant coming over here and finishing off these catapult that may actually take down this Migdol stronghold. It's going to be close. That last boulder comes through the air, but the repair rate enough to keep the Migdol stronghold alive there. Barely though. And we're seeing looking like Joe just needs to sort of concentrate his efforts here. Push through on some different locations. Come in over here maybe. Throw down some side siege works. Cut off this gold mine. Don't want to give that one to Ro8 as he's got this kind of advantage over having the villagers here. Eating these water buffalo. Now we do see heavy spearmen for Ro8. And he does have spear on the horizon. So now these spearmen starting to look scary. Obviously greatest of the 50 really helps out quite a bit with the spearmen against the war elephant and those mercenary cavalry. It's got to be careful about that one. And what Joe can potentially do here is throw up his own barracks and make some axemen here. Or just spearman himself is fine if he gets the upgrades out. Now the question is, we do see some docks for Joe. The question is this in range? And it looks like it is in range. Actually, both town centers are in range of the water. And it's looking like Rita's spotted this. And he's like, okay, I need some docks. A little bit late as the war barge is already built or training. And naval auxiliary is already out. Heavy chariots out now for Redo. I don't think Joe cares. He's got one thing in mind, and it's get war barges out, hit this town center, win the game. He needs to think about defending this location as well, but I guess he's got villagers over here, so he will see any sort of villager shenanigans. Though the villagers could come up here, sneak up here, and put some docks here, because that's all connected. Excuse me. Got something in my throat. Feels bad. And now those war barges coming in takes down the docks incredibly fast. And I think Rito's at 160 of 160 pop. So he can't just make these. More docks coming down now for Rito. And we're seeing some cabinets coming out as well, as Joe is happily doing this. Ramming Galley sitting on 0. And the Oxy War Barge is going to take this down, obviously, very, very fast. He's got bronze weapons. Seeing some more villagers coming in. We do see a ramming galley out, but the cabinet already here should be able to come over and pick these off. These war barges have 500 HP. They take quite a while to go down. The watchtower's going up now for Redo. As these we're getting reinforced ram as well, but the ramming galley is going down much faster than the Oxy war barges do. And these war barges don't really do a lot of damage to this watchtowers here. And it's looking like potentially Joe's may not be in range actually, because it looks like he may have tried. And once the towers are up, he can kind of fight here quite easily. So nice play by Redo. But the Oxy war barges just take these towers down so fast. Look at them just completely decimate. This siege workshop coming down now for Joe as well. Maybe able to take this town center down. Meanwhile, champion chariots out for Redo. Always in front on that tech. See plow coming through for Joe. Copper shields, quarry, champion chariots as well. We do see coin age for both players probably here. A lot of camel caravans are out. It looks like this water will get controlled here by Redo. And we're seeing the chariots coming down onto this location. But Redo's just like, I don't even need to gather gold anymore. Well, he's gathering gold from here, but he's got so many camel caravans here. And there's the champion chariots for Joe. So he's keeping up. Sort of a reversage on the upgrades here with bronze weapons, copper shields, and copper shields, bronze weapons for Redo and Joe. See a little bit of a raid coming in here from the chariot archers, looking to pick off some villagers, or the camel caravans for that matter. We are seeing some cabinets getting produced. Do they have arrow cladding? Nope, they do not. And we do have the champion spears out. They have both Greatest 50 and Spear of the Horizon. So now these cavalry start looking like a little bit weaker. And you can see that they trade fairly efficiently against them and cost half of the resources. Or this is actually a good point. These cabinets here could just chill here and just snipe camel caravans for days. Meanwhile, the Oxy war barges pick off these watchtowers so very, very fast. Running them into the watchtowers. Look how much damage they do. They both pick each other off very, very fast. It's very volatile. We do have heavy cabinets coming in now for Joe. So he's going to win this fairly hard. Meanwhile, no efforts made to kill this off, but there is a little path here that Ro8 can make to go onto the trade route of Joe. He's throwing up a monument to the soldiers over here, but some walls and a tower would not go astray over there. And now the cabinets can just sit here on this trade. We do see that the walls, the wood has opened this up. Or the villager has opened this up, which will kind of prevent-ish the camels from going past this, but a lot of them will be falling as these cabinets just do so much damage to the land units. Not quite able to pick them off, not focusing too much. Meanwhile, Joe can just hold on this top of the map fairly well. The catapults do have engineers though, so they're going to do a lot of damage. And we do see the guard towers going up. If anything, the cabinets should be targeting this guard tower while it's going up, because it does like so much more damage than the Oxy War Barge. And it does go down as soon as it goes up. Nice play. And there we do see some markets coming up for Ro8. Got a barracks over here for Joe already. I'd love to see some walls. I think that we haven't seen enough on these maps. The medium spearmen are coming out. They've got graders to the 50, but not heavy spearmen just yet. He's got a lot of gold in the bank though, so totally fine. We see some docks coming up over here. We even got burning pitch coming through now for Joe. Able to pick off those buildings even faster. Got some ramming galleys coming in. These docks following, but there's so many of them. And a Migdal stronghold coming up in the face of this town center. Joe can go for siege works here and pick that one off. Ro8 trying to throw down some towers in this location. Still not seeing that heavy spearman. There's the heavy spearman. Iron weapons coming through for Joe as well. His economy is going out of control well right now, but Ro8 and Joe in a very similar position here in terms of economy. Siege works coming up. Watchtowers coming through as well. Does Ro8 spot this? He does not. I love this play from Joe. Just outside of range or line of sight, getting these watchtowers up so that he can start sieging away at this town center. And we do see these docks going down for Joe, spamming out more of those military units, all those navy units here to control this. And that completely stunts any sort of forward pressure that Ro8 can do, because he's got to invest so much population over here. So does Joe, but that just means that you can't push anywhere else, which is huge. And now we're seeing the towers up. We'll see catapults, walls coming through here as well, more towers as well. Ro8 still not spotting this, as these towers are just out of range here. As we check that out, it's very short, and we do not see signal flares. One of those really important upgrades you have to get. You got to get signal flares. It's vitally important. And more towers coming up, more cabinets popping through. We do see the cabinets going after these camel caravans here. And preventing Ro8's trade from operating is very important, but Ro8's now set up over here with these towers, baluster towers in that as well. So he's going to start making a strong move onto this, but so is Joe. He's got guard towers only though. Hasn't made the catapult just yet. Throwing up a Migdal stronghold as well. Ro8 still hasn't spotted that this has happened. It's absolutely huge, but Joe's town center is under attack now. Meanwhile, we see some siege works over here for Joe. Doing his thing. But the town center is going down very, very fast. And Ro8 may just win it here. He has to pick off those catapults so very, very fast. And he's just not able to do it. And finally hitting the catapult there. Town center going to live for the time being. Doesn't have masons or architects, sitting with so many resources in the bank here. He needs to get those upgrades. It's vitally important. Still no catapults. They're sitting at 99%. Would love to see a wall here. One singular wall. Preventing any sort of mercenary from picking off the catapults, and this town center will die. Meanwhile, we do see that the ramming galley has spotted a little bit of what's going on over here. And meanwhile, the catapults over here for Joe just dealing with this nicely. Still a couple of heavy cabinets can pick off these ramming galleys. We see some more ballast towers coming up for Ro8. Trying to hold on to his water here. More docks coming down for Joe. And we still don't see masons or arc. Well, obviously can't get architects before masons. And some walls now coming up finally for Ro8. The first walls we've really seen in this game. Vitally important in this game is quartering off your opponent, reducing the amount of map that they can play with by utilizing walls, and going from there. Now the catapult yet again moving in, but the town center is back up to full HP. Nice play by Joe. Still, there's the walls for Joe. Still hasn't got those catapult out. Getting engineers preemptively. I like that. Getting out stone wall as well. Very, very important upgrade. Engineers coming. Oh, I've said that already, but no masons. Still lots of idle villagers chilling here on this town center. Joe with a lot of resources in the bank, so he doesn't need them gathering, but he does need them repairing. We still haven't seen this wall finished off. He still has to put the wall up over here. Now this town center getting awfully close to falling yet again as Ro8's pressure is starting to become apparent here. And now this water doesn't matter for Ro8 at all. Maybe Yoxi War Barge can hit this. We'll see what these cabinets are looking for. It's a lot of population here. Still nothing going up. There's 3 catapult on this town center. It's getting very, very low. In fact, so low that it will fall here. Really, really big for Ro8, but the catapult will fall. He's going to try and get this back up. Ro8 grabbing up his own Secrets of the Titans here. Villagers need to throw this town center up en masse, pick off these catapult, see if he can get it back up. Meanwhile, still no catapults over here. Cabinets over here, really not doing a lot. Oxy War Barge may be able to hit it. Like I said, it could be in range. They have 30 range to play with. Now we see a catapult back in, and Joe's town center is lost for the time being. We're either going to keep pushing forward with Ballaster Tower. However, Joe, if he just, I don't know, gets out some catapult, deletes those cabinets here, he's going to be doing so. And there's the catapult coming in, going to be able to hit this town center now. Only one, though. It's not going to be much, and Ro8's already got masons. He needs architects as well, though. Now we're seeing Ballaster Tower going up around these town center. You don't want to rush it. Really nice play from Ro8, and Joe going to be scrambling a little bit. There is a Pharaoh over here for him. I mean, now not going to be empowering his trade, so he's going to be a little bit short on gold. The Pharaoh does get targeted instantly by those spearmen. Joe trying to throw up his own towers here himself to hold on to this one, and now the village is going to be spotting this. Catapult are 4 pop. Yes, they are. Going to be going after the town center. Redo. Titan Gate is out. And he has invoked that one there. Instantly going to try and get that one up. But that should just get traded. Even with the 90-second advantage in build time here. Shouldn't be fine. And one catapult just not enough. He needs a couple. Get a couple of catapult. Ooh, I like this from Joe. Migdol Stronghold here behind this location. And the Oxy War Barge going after houses here. Nice play. Restricting Ro8's population count. Maybe I would even the playing field by picking off a couple of those houses for a little bit in order to get this town center back up. We do see some catapult coming in. Going to be cleaning this up here. Now, now that the wall's done, you can send some mercenary cavalry in here, but the wall already getting rebuilt there. Another catapult is out. That's going to be able to take this down. Those houses all falling, and Ro8 now sitting at... Oh, he's got his houses back up nice and fast. Going to be losing his Ballaster Tower and Temple as well. And Migdol Strongholds spamming up now for Joe as he's able to start getting this damage done. But the position is open now. Town Center going to attempt to come back up. There's still a singular catapult, 2 catapults here to prevent it. So it's just not quite time for Joe. Needs to get his Pharaoh over here as well. We'll be able to shoot that one up very fast. Same thing for Redo. Titan Age coming through 35% behind on that one. So we will be throwing it down somewhere fast, I hope. And there it is, throwing it down. Villagers coming onto it, only 9. Redo's got 20 villagers on his. And the town center will be falling here, it looks like, with 2 more flings of the catapult. So now we're evening out the town center situation. The Pharaoh's here as well. Villagers going to be jumping onto this town center. So this is very, very close here. A whole 50%-ish in front for Redo at this point. So we'll see if he can get his Titan over here to take down the Titan Gate of Joe, sorry. Or if it's just going to be a Titan trade. Meanwhile, Pharaoh was picked off, it looks like, yet again by those Chariot archers. And Joe going to be going for this town center here, maybe swapping town centers. And I don't think that... Oh, Redo's going to be battling for it, but I don't think he's going to be able to get it that easily. There is a catapult over here, which does get picked off. Ballast tower here as well. And Joe just continuously streaming in catapult here. Wouldn't be a bad idea to just transition into pure land here. On this side, and just get the town center up, swap each other's town centers here, because this town center is in range of docks. Can just get out some ballister ship, prevent this from going down. They only cost 2 population. You only need 1 of them to prevent a town center from going up here. And we do see some villagers over here. Chariot's already here in order to pick these off very, very fast. The villagers going to try and prevent this one. A couple of ballaster, or a ballast tower will be going up. Meanwhile, more buildings coming up here for Joe. Titan awfully close to going up. Redo's resources very low on everything except for gold. And the town center does get prevented on both fronts here. But 2 town centers apiece here is very scary for both players. Because they are very, very heavily populated on camel caravans. There's the Titan. A full 50% in front. So will he be able to make it over the other side of the map? There is a way to speed walk this Titan. So you grab this unit here, these 2 units, and you just spam click here, and that Titan will move much faster than 3.75 speed. But it's a little known fact, and is very important when you're trying to get over onto this Titan Gate. But we do see full 25 villagers on this, and not only that, there are a camel caravan here that can block. And it's looking like this is just going to be a Titan trade. And it's looking like the usage for Redo getting the Titan out first is going to be clearing out this location here is going to be the way to go. Meanwhile, more buildings up for Joe. Can be able to get this town center up, it looks like, fairly comfortably. As now Redo is actually sitting at 120 effective population with this Titan here. He's going to come in, prevent this town center, do all those good things. But this town center will go up for Joe now. So he's going to be 3 town centers to Redo's 2 town centers. And we see a wonder coming now for Redo. Desperation wonder. Pharaoh coming in to empower it as well, getting it up as fast as he possibly can. And this means the town centers will probably go to Joe. And it's going to be all about, can Joe make a push through? He's already got catapult over here though. So he can just move in and hit this town center for a little bit here. Obviously, there's a million mercenary that can be made. Both the Titans are out. Going to be attempting to trade that. There will be a little bit of HP left over for Joe as this Titan has lost quite a bit. So we'll see if that is going to matter or not. But Joe with 4 town centers can be very difficult for Redo to hold on for 10 minutes here and get the win from this wonder. And also, the market for Redo will get picked off here as well, as Redo is sitting with only 723 gold in the bank. This is absolutely gigantic, as we don't see any markets coming up for Redo on the other side of the map just now. And meanwhile, the catapult's moving in for Joe. Going to be looking to do some stuff here. Both these Titans are marching here. This time we'll be able to pick off this settlement. And this wonder goes up so very fast. Why did he didn't pick off the market? Now the wonder going up for Joe just to solidify his victory here. Means that if he takes the wonder, he basically just wins, is the idea. So he's making this wonder very important here. And Joe still hasn't got this town center up, and Rita retreating back. He'll want to fight the enemy Titan. You want to fight the enemy Titan underneath tower fire or something to make up for the extra little bit of damage that it has taken. And there's the town center falling. The hometown center of Redo has fallen. Absolutely huge, but there's no units in here just yet. And it's looking like Joe just going basically pure catapult here. And he will take down this market, preventing any trade from happening here. And then he can move on to the Wonder if he wants. The town center as well as an option. And this town center for Joe. Going up yet again as the two Titans are bashing each other. And Rita's running away. That's awful. He's down 2,000 HP. And this is completely losing for Ridu. There is no way that... How does this happen every single time? You just have to right click on the Titan. Nothing else. That's the most important thing. There's also priests helping out, plus those mercenary down the bottom. And this is a huge win for Joe's Titan. The Wonder is up for Ridu, but that's 9 minutes he has to survive for in order to stay alive here, or to win the game, obviously. 9 minutes to stay alive. Staying alive will help you win the game. But town center just about up for Joe. Market's coming back up. Town center's back up as well. And Joe's got 1,700 HP in this Titan. And he can just send that in to this town center. No problems here. Doesn't have to worry about this. Pick this off with catapult. The Titan cannot get picked off fast enough. This Wonder will go down if he just clicks on it. It looks like. I mean, maybe Ridu can path block a little bit, but it's going to be difficult. We just see a cabinet here coming over to pick off this Ferrising at 18 HP. But it looks like Joe's just going for the town center. Cutting off the gold's not a bad idea. There's the Wonder for Joe. Only about 1.5 minutes behind Ridu's Wonder here. Some ghost buildings going up now for Ridu. And Joe retreating. I don't like it. It's 20 population. You need to get value out of it. It looks like he is going to opt to try and push through this this building here. Once the building finishes, I think the Titan does more damage to it. So you kind of just want to leave them at 99% completion against the Titan because, I don't know, for some reason, the Titan doesn't do much to do the crush damage onto these buildings. I think they have a bunch of extra crush damage when they're building, when they're construction units or whatever it is being constructed. Now the town center will fall. Or bonus damage doesn't work on a foundation. Okay, that makes sense. And the town center, it does go down there. Well played by Joe. But his Titan is down to 1,000 HP. And he could just be using it to take down this Wonder here, or even this town center, and then go for the catapult push or something like that. Now Joe pushing in with the Migdol stronghold with everything else. Just not worrying about his home base. Wants to grab this town center for himself. Now the catapult over here picking off the ballista tower. Doing its thing. And it's looking rough for Ridu. He's got not a lot of resources left. You got to imagine he's very low. Still 800 gold. We see the camel caravans walking past the Titan. As he is stamping the ground, trying to pick him off. He does pick him off fairly fast. The town center will be going up. Pharaoh coming in to help out as well. There's no catapult, so this town center will go up super fast, going up to 200 population versus the 110 population of Ridu or whatever it is. 120 population. And there it is. Town center up for Joe. All these buildings falling. Houses will fall very fast as well. A bunch of barracks coming up for Ridu. He's got 6 minutes to hold. It's a long, long time. And this Titan still with 857 HP. And no units to pick it off. It's going to take a long time to take that one down. As he's just going to be moving over here. taking this down. There is the Pharaoh. Can do a lot of damage to this Titan. As we see him flinging, he does more than 1 damage in attack, which is obviously big. About 10 damage-ish a shot, it looks like. And for some reason, Joe retreating here. He wants to, I don't know, drag these units over here for some reason. You're picking off that monument to the soldiers, preventing the favor from coming in. The Pharaoh does go down. Titan targeting onto this town center now, preventing those mercenary from being built. Meanwhile, the camel caravans running straight past the town center. Not a care in the world. Dumping into that market there. And this Titan, looks like he's going after the villagers. And Ro8 in this moment does realize it's hopeless. He's not going to be able to hold this wonder for long enough. GG. Well played by Joe, managing to hold on even though he lost that town center first. So absolutely great game there by Joe. If you enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow button on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.